Could you actually wipe out every credit card balance, car payment, and personal loan you owe in just 3 years? Not someday, not eventually 3 years. And we're going to talk about exactly how that's possible right now. Consumer debt in America recently crossed $14 trillion, and the average household is dragging around nearly $100,000 in non-mortgage obligations. So if you feel buried, you are not alone, and you are not broken. The real villain here isn't your spending habits. It's the architecture of modern credit, a system literally engineered to keep you paying the minimum forever, like a treadmill that quietly speeds up every time you catch your breath. Interest compounds daily on most cards. So every morning you wake up slightly more behind than the night before, which is the most polite form of financial warfare ever invented. Here's where the optimism used to live. 3 years ago, low interest rates made debt feel manageable, refinancing was cheap, and every personal finance influencer was selling the dream of a zero-balance life by Tuesday. Then rates climbed, balances swelled, and suddenly that dream had a much steeper ticket price. The psychological weight of that shift is real. Studies show debt stress activates the same neurological response as physical pain, and yet plenty of people are still quietly, stubbornly paying it down month by month without any fanfare. The tension between despair and determination is actually where the most interesting debt stories live. Debt repayment cycles are ancient. The debt snowball concept traces back decades. The avalanche method has been taught in economics classrooms since the 1980s, and every generation swears their debt crisis is uniquely catastrophic. It always feels like the worst it's ever been, and statistically, for your specific moment in time, it usually kind of is, but people always find a way through. The snowball method, made famous by Dave Ramsey, has you pay minimums on everything and attack the smallest balance first for psychological wins, while the avalanche method targets the highest interest rate first and mathematically saves you the most money. Neither is wrong. One optimizes for feelings, one optimizes for math. And the honest truth is the best strategy is whichever one you'll actually stick to. A lesser known but genuinely powerful third path is debt consolidation through a personal loan, which can slash a 24% credit card rate down to 9 or 10% overnight, effectively cutting the time to pay off nearly in half. The misconception is that consolidation is a trap, and it can be if you run the cards back up. But used with discipline, it is one of the most underrated tools in the repayment toolkit. Here are the practical mechanics if you're serious. List every debt, minimum payment, balance, and interest rate on one page. Then decide whether you're an avalanche person or a snowball person and commit to that lane completely. Redirect every surplus dollar, tax refunds, bonuses, side income directly to your target debt, because intensity of focus beats perfection of strategy every single time. The math on 3 years is actually not as wild as it sounds. If you owe $30,000 in consumer debt and find an extra $500 per month to throw at it, you hit zero in roughly 4.5 years on the avalanche alone. And consolidating at a lower rate shaves that down into striking distance of 3. The strategy isn't magic, it's just arithmetic that most people have never sat down to actually run. Position size matters here, the same way it does in investing. Don't sacrifice your emergency fund trying to pay debt faster, because one unexpected car repair sends you right back to the credit card, and you've lost the war to win a battle. A $1,000 cushion while you pay down debt is not laziness. It is structural protection for your own plan. The philosophical truth underneath all of this is that debt payoff isn't a sprint fueled by motivation. It's a slow, boring, unsexy process that rewards people who can stay consistent when the excitement wears off after month 3. Discipline, process, and realistic sizing of your monthly commitment beat the perfect strategy executed only when you feel inspired. You don't need to have the highest income or the lowest debt to win this. You need a system, a sequence, and the willingness to automate the decisions so your future self can't talk your present self out of the payment. 3 years is ambitious, it is not delusional, and thousands of people hit that exact window every single year without anyone writing a headline about it. The real flex isn't the zero balance screenshot. It's building the kind of relationship with your money where debt becomes a choice you make deliberately rather than a default you slide into. That shift in identity from someone debt happens to someone who manages debt as a tool is worth more than any single payoff milestone. And if you're ready to take the first real step, whether that means restructuring your finances through real estate investing, getting your home working harder for you through smart contracting decisions, or connecting with lenders who can help consolidate and accelerate your payoff timeline, check out our links in the description below.